Wow, we are literally getting back on track.
Hey, rail fans and model railroaders. Welcome to Getting Back on Track with Steve. Today, I wanted to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel and left such great comments all along the way. Has really been following this incredible build series, and we really appreciate that. But I thought today would be a good time to talk about the origin story of how we named the channel and how we got into this hobby to begin with. You see, 2 years ago, I was a healthy 63-year-old man. I was driving a semi-truck hauling flatbeds all over the United States. Everything was great, and my life was really on track, I thought. But that all got derailed. On the road somewhere, I contracted Rocky Mountain spotted fever from a tick bite. I wasn't feeling well. I parked my truck in Colorado, but after a couple of days, I was just out of it. And after 9 days, I was finally pulled out of the truck completely unresponsive. Ended up in the intensive care unit in Colorado. And those people there truly saved my life. I was really in bad shape when I got there. But by the time I left, I was still pretty weak and had a lot of issues. But, I went out, I was in a wheelchair. I started physical therapy, and after a time was able to move on to use a walker. And today I use a cane to get around. But the illness has left me with some mobility and some memory issues. And I was battling a lot of depression, so my life was totally derailed. So for us, what ended up happening is my dad, who's 89, he had an HO scale train set that he had been messing around with, and decided it was a little difficult for him to use something that small. He moved on to an O gauge, and he thoroughly enjoys running his trains and working on scenery and all those things. But he gave me his HO train set. I brought it home, set it on the floor, played with it some, and then built this 4x8 table that I'm currently using as the peninsula in this current build. Put it up there, ran it for a while, was really enjoying it and having a lot of fun with it. And then I decided I wanted to try something a little different, so I picked up a bunch of Atlas track. I picked up some more locomotives, some other rolling stock, and a caboose or two, and I set up a loop on there. It was just having a great time. I enjoyed it so much. And the more I ran the trains, and the more I started reading about the hobby and seeing all the different facets of things to learn, I started getting that old fire back inside of me, and it really brought me out of that depression. My daughter and I decided we're going to start working and building this whole layout that you've been following along with, and it's really been going great. It may look like I'm just zipping along able to do things, but it's a difficult process for me, and it takes a lot of time, takes a lot out of me to do it. But I'm more than happy to do it, and I love sharing it with all of you. So the name for the channel of Getting Back on Track with Steve is really a metaphor for getting back on track with my life. We're back on track again, and everything's going great. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of these trains that I've been running. This is the Tyco HO set Dad had given to me. It's a double loop of easy track, so it's easy to set up. The documentation says that the local is an EMT diesel, and it came with a gondola, a hopper, and a caboose, all with 4-stroke couplers. Seems like a good introduction to the hobby. From there, I moved into some Atlas Code 83 track. I picked up an Athearn GP60, Southern Pacific road name, and a set of boxcars from the Model Railroad Club in California. This track is a little more involved to set up, but makes a nice long oval track. I like running this train as it reminds me of the trains that used to run through my hometown when I was young. Model Railroad Club did a really nice job weathering these boxcars. I really like the way they look. And the Southern Pacific is weathered as well. I really like its look. The BNSF caboose came with the BNSF locomotive I picked up. It really is a lot more interesting when you're running two trains and two lines at once. I spent many hours sitting just watching them running around in circles here on my layout. And I really enjoy that. I'm looking forward to when I get much longer runs and a little more interest. The other thing that I've been working on is 3D printing. I printed out this concrete silo and I painted it using an airbrush. It's the first structure I've printed. And the first time using an airbrush. I'm sure I'll get better as I print out more structures on the layout and we build out the scenery on this complete layout. In the long run, it should save me a lot of money though. Well, there you go. You got to learn a little bit more about me today, and you got to learn about the origins of our channel, and also got an opportunity to share some of my trains with you. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed running some trains again, even if the setup is just temporary for now. As we move forward, we're going to finish up getting some painting done, getting foam glued down, and get this thing pushed down the road to the point where we can actually start laying some cork road bed and laying some track. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in and joining me every week for the videos. Make sure you hit like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and share our channel with your friends. Also, we've launched a Patreon page, and if you'd like to further support our channel and help offset some of the costs of doing the videos and maintaining this channel, consider joining Patreon. You can do so for less than a cup of coffee. In the meantime, you guys enjoy running your trains, and we'll see you next week on Getting Back on Track with Steve. Thanks, guys.